Good evening and welcome to A Woman's Perspective. We have with us tonight an exciting guest in my mind, Councilwoman Connie Williams Johnson. Connie is the first African American elected to the Thibodaux City Council, and she is the third woman elected to what is usually an all-male body. And she is no stranger to politics, having been a member of the Lafourche Parish School Board and an appointed member of the Lafourche Commission on Women. Connie, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I want to thank you, too, for one of the first things you did was to help me with the Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy. And I want our audience to know that I want to compliment you on, I was telling you on that day, you absolutely did your homework when you were elected. You read the Home Rule Charter and you knew your stuff. And when one councilwoman and two councilmen, Councilman Chip Badeaux and Councilman Eddie Hebert, and you helped me with the meeting for the Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy, the girls' 8th and 9th grade, a question came up that involved the Home Rule Charter. And Councilman Badeaux, my husband, who, helped with the writing of the Home Rule Charter, sat on the committee where, with the charter not in front of him that many years ago, he forgot a piece of information. Who comes to the rescue? But Connie Williams, and you knew exactly what to say. So Connie, congratulations on just being on top of things in the first place. So let's get down to business. Tell us tonight, I know tonight was a busy night. Y'all had the council meeting, and when Chip came in at 6:30 something, I said, oh my goodness, I knew you had night out on crime too. Yes. So just tell our viewers about what Thibodaux's doing.
Well, tonight we're actually out in the community working towards bringing unity, showing the perspective of preventing and keeping crime down in our communities. So this is Night Out on Crime. And we have several satellite areas where we're working. The police department, for the first time that I'm aware of, has crime out. And
it was. I passed it on the way here.
Yes. And the American Legion, which of course has participated, along with the crew of Ghana, they have it there. And of course, normally I try to make all the sites, but unfortunately tonight, due to the meeting, it going beyond the time it normally does, I was not able to do that, having this engagement following the meeting. So of course I did attend the one for the crew of Ghana. There is one at the Apple of Day.
Now what is the
daycare?
Apple of Day? Oh,
it's a daycare, which is Sucre. And then Walmart, of course, has it. And there's another site, some areas of Raceland.
6 sites. Thibodaux is this Lafourche or just Thibodaux?
No, it's Lafourche.
It's Lafourche.
It's
okay.
Lafourche.
Because I remember the sheriff having gone to that before.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
And so we had about 5 or 6 sites in Thibodaux.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Well, that's just fabulous. I'm glad that we're going through with that. And so let's go to the city council. Mm-hmm. And you were on the Lafourche Parish School Board, and you were on the city council, and there are people thinking of running for office right now. Was it a big jump from the school board to the council, or just, it was about the same thing?
Pretty much the same. I think once you serve in whichever capacity, for of course the years I served with school board was 12. So I was able to see not only from a parish perspective and school board, but of course the city, because there are things in the city that I've done over the years. I mean, working in various places and working under various administrations with organizations. So pretty much I had an involvement in the city as well. But of course, city is different because you're working more with city as opposed to the parish. And the council is smaller. School board was 15. We're only 5 on the council.
So do you find it easier to get your votes on the council as compared to the school board when you have an issue up? Or is the politics greater because there's only 5?
Well, I don't know whether or not it's easier to get the vote, because I do believe it depends on the area you're serving and the support you receive based upon the information. I think no matter what, I believe the support will be there. Although we may disagree, I do believe that we all will come together in what is best for the community.
I know we have 2 councilmen at large in Thibodaux, and then we have 3 council districts, individual districts, and you serve one of those districts.
That is correct. Right. That is correct.
And is that an all-black district, or is it black and white?
It's a diverse district.
A diverse district.
Pretty much about 53% minority.
Oh, well,
in
that's
that
not
district.
much. So that's a large percentage of not minority.
Correct. Give or take
right.
in my numbers, but pretty much the percentage is not that great in terms of percentage-wise of minorities and other races in the district.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, did you find it more difficult to campaign for the council than the school board, or that you did not find that a problem?
I did not find that a problem as much, but I found that I had to reach out more because of school board. The area was a little different, and there were some of the areas within the city that I crossed over thinking I had to go out because I looked at school board. Campaigning was not difficult for me because I've done it, and I like going out to the people, so I really enjoyed that part of it.
Did you campaign on any one issue or with something in mind? What did you campaign on?
Well, my campaign was focused on people, and I felt that we need to be more involved with the people in the community. I think we need more hands-on with our community. We have a small community, but we have to broaden our touch in the community. I think reaching out and trying to work with people as a whole. I am a minority, and I serve the minority district as a percentage, but I serve people as a whole.
So that's a fabulous way to put it, Connie.
Less. I feel very strongly about people in a community. I've grown up in a community pretty much all my life, in a diverse community. So I have a relationship with people no matter what.
Well, maybe you should go to Washington and bring that philosophy to help the Democrats and the Republicans right now. So, okay, let me ask you this, because people are thinking about running for office. It's coming up again. And what about fundraising? Did you find it that more difficult in school board than council than school board, or what? Or you financed your own campaign?
Pretty much my own campaign. But I did do more running for the city council seat as opposed to the school board seat, and perhaps it was because I had been there for 12 years. But each term I had to run, besides when I entered the school board race, I entered and no one else qualified. But the final 2 years of my service, I had to campaign. But the city seat I felt was more involved because perhaps being the female in the run with 2 male candidates, I had to work a little harder. But knowing me was a plus. My work was a plus. But I did not take anything for granted. I felt that I needed to work harder as a female to get the message out.
Have you always run against male candidates?
Yes.
And so, you've been successful.
Yes.
So that's great. Do you have anything that you'd like to share with people about a woman running against a male candidate?
I believe as women we need to be very focused and serious. We don't take anything for granted. I don't. I feel to believe that we have a message. Most women are not only a woman, but a mother and a wife in some cases. And I think we have a broader perspective how to serve a community, how to work with people in general. I believe that is a plus for us as a candidate, and I ask women all the time to get involved. We need more women involved because we have I think a softer touch, but we're about business and we have a more serious view of things as opposed to some men. I believe that women can really do whatever they set their minds and hearts to do, but we have to be really focused, and we have to be, have the energy to do it, and be very determined, not just say something, but you have to do it. And I believe that
you should be held accountable.
Yes.
I know a councilman who agrees with you. He's a male, but still, that you need to be held accountable. If you say you're going to do something, then you need at least to try to put that on the table and get it done. You can't help it if you can't get the votes.
That is correct.
But if you run on something, you need to be held accountable, and you also need to be held accountable for fiscal responsibility and as you said, for serving all the people. so that, even in a minority district, the minority, and on the council, the minority view has to be heard, but if the majority view, whatever the people's view is.
That is correct.
I definitely agree with that. And I think that we women really do take that seriously.
Yes, we do.
I know we do. I know. Now, tell us about, is there anything on the council that has really captured your attention since December? I know it's not been a long time, but...
Right. Well, there have been many issues to come forth on the council, and I think pretty much we have a good council, and I believe that each council person has something for their district, but I think as a whole, we agree to do what is in the best interest of the constituents.
I'm glad you said that. on behalf of one of the councilmen, I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
So, but what about issues? Tell us a couple of them.
One issue came up that, we have the various districts within the city. And I think one of the top issues were one that we were able to pass about bringing trailers back into the area. Many people now cannot afford to build from ground up. And I believe that people should have the opportunity, if they need to put trailers, not just anywhere in the city. And I think we need guidelines, and we definitely need to make certain that whatever we do is that everything come in order, or whatever our restrictions are. But I was really pleased that we were able to open the way for people to come in and bring trailers, and I felt really good about that. And I also feel good that in October we will vote for term limits for the mayor. And there are some other issues that we will bring forth for that particular time of the year for October for the election.
And I know the mayor campaigned on putting that forth, term limits.
Yes.
He did campaign on that, so it's not something you're doing because of the mayor. The mayor campaigned on a belief in term limits for that office.
That is correct. The mayor did campaign for that, and I also brought that to the forefront when I ran for the mayor's seat. But I also made it clear that I was about term limits during my election for city council. So I am very strongly in support of that.
Are y'all going to bring up term limits for the council members also?
One or two of the council members did say something about it, but however, whichever way it goes, I think it's fine. But I do know for certain for October, we will have on the ballot for the term limits for mayor.
Okay, but you're not sure about the council.
No, I'm not. That will not be on the ballot. That I do know.
But I'm sure that you want to hear from the people as to what they think.
That is
correct. If it's for the mayor, then should the council also have term limits? I know that I've heard Chip say the same thing.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So, okay, well, let me just ask you this. Do you think that the increase in water and sewage is going to pass? Or am I not supposed to ask that question right now?
Well, I would say this. Definitely tonight we voted in favor of the sewage and in favor of the gas. I think it was a tough one because we all want to serve our constituents, and we do know that we're living in some very tough times. But there are some things that we have to really plan ahead for, especially with the bond issues. And tonight we also table the fact of increasing water.
Right,
So,
I know that I've heard the debate on that in my own household.
And we debated. So at this time, there will be. But of course, the increase is not tremendous, but we do know no matter what an increase is, perhaps it could be a hardship on someone.
Right, I think that the water, the sewage and the gas, there was a loss in that, but the water, there is not a loss in revenue in that. And so I think that was the debate. Are you surprised that I even know that?
Well,
I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, that's great because, of course, we know that people want to know. And I want to make certain that I do serve my constituents because I did receive a few calls. But overall, I think we're doing a great job. There's always room for improvement, but if we continue along this path, I think this administration will do very well.
Well, I know that, and I think that you did a great job in considering where you had a loss in revenue, but, going cautiously where you didn't have a loss in revenue and just not increasing everything, given the recession of our times.
That is correct.
And is there anything else before we close that you would like to tell our viewers?
Pretty much. Thank you for having me on tonight. We're working very diligent and very hard to make some changes, enhance some programs, and make our community a better community. And I think as a collective group of people, we can do that. No matter what district we serve, we still have to be unified in what we do.
Oh, thank you, Connie. I agree with that 100%. And I hope that all of you women agree with that, and that we need more women offering themselves for office. I do not believe that you should vote for a candidate simply because that candidate is a woman. But if a woman does not offer herself for office, then you are not getting an encompassing view, a perspective on all issues. So, good night. Thank you for being with us for a woman's perspective. And I will be gone for about 4 weeks. Business that just has to be taken care of. And I'm going to miss you. I will really miss you. And I hope that when I come back, that we'll have even more renewed vigor and energy and more viewers out there. Thank you so much, and good night.